of the Washington offense.
And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And the drive begins with a run by Geis. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Geis. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. That was the veteran Jamie Collins busting through to make the stop. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Steps away to his left. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
As soon as I saw him break contain and get outside, my first thought and my eyes gravitated downfield, because nowadays, most of these quarterbacks, when they do that, they want the big play downfield. They don't want to throw it short. In this case, he took the shot. It fell incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts
as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. Looks like the offense is going to take another shot here. They're going on 4th and 13. They'll indeed go for it with Haskins. That's to his running back, complete. But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position.
And coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. On the handoff, this is Swift.
The corner, Ronald Darby, comes up to get it.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5. Stafford with a play fake to Swift, and he'll set to throw.
Galladay's got it, and the Lions have a touchdown. Kenny Galladay, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions are able to grow their lead.
Sometimes when I see these types of plays executed, I think of basketball. Guys boxing other guys off to go out and get a rebound.
And he got the rebound right there. But the defense was really placed well.
Yeah, they were right there. I mean, that's where it's really tough for a defender. When you're in the right spot, you're draped on the guy catching the ball, yet he still comes down with it.
And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
At their own 24-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
At the 22-yard line.
Now Haskins. Into the hands of the tight end. This is Jordan Thomas. And he lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
So they recover their own fumble. Now they face 3rd and short.
Final play of the half. It's Haskins. Open man here. Sims complete. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
To kick off for Detroit.
Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports. Fields it in the middle of the end zone, and Gibson decides against bringing it out. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
It's now 2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. In that play, it wound up losing yardage.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. Here's Haskins. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. On the return, here's Agnew. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And the Lions will take over
at their own 44-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. From the gun, here's Stafford. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays.
1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Stafford going to lead with Swift on the draw. And get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. They'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
The ball carrier.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Stafford on 3rd down. It's complete to Swift out of the backfield. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A shotgun snap for Stafford. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. The intended target, T.J. Hockenson, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. That's Daron Payne with a sack that time. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
Now Stafford on 3rd and goal. And it's caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kenny Galladay, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And this offense is running away with this one. Now Prater to add the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead.
Washington, nothing.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. taken at the 15, a short kick. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape, up past the 30.
Will take over first and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk. To come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Haskins. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Well, coming into this one, we expected that this offense would have trouble with this defense, and that's exactly the way that this game has gone. Pressure in his face. Coverage downfield has been tight. That led to another incompletion. This defense, they're exactly who we thought they were coming into this one.
Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
4th down.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give them a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Now they're just looking to add to that total. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And that is incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Call that a punt of 38 yards officially.
And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10.
At their own 37-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a 1st down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. Again, they run. Again, it's Geis. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
12 yards there and a 1st down.
Defensively, they were in the 3-4. That O-line just dominated the D-line there.
Let's go with a verbal telestrator here, because that D-line has a nose over the center, and it has the 2 defensive ends over the offensive tackles. That means the guards don't have anyone over the top of them. That creates a natural bubble inside where they sprint upfield, take on the inside linebackers. And if the back hits it fast enough, there should be space to run.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
Second and 11 now.
Now they'll look to Haskins to throw it.
They get this to Antonio Gibson, complete.
Call it a gain of 5, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
5 yards on the play.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Back now at Ford Field, and this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Washington on 3rd down.
They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 6. Third down, here's Geis.
And he's going to be about a yard or 2 short of the first here.
He needed the 35 but didn't make it. It's a gain of 5, and now the question, will the offense stay out there on 4th and 1?
It's now 4th down.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Here we go with Geis. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. A toss right to Geis. And he stopped immediately there.
Julian Okwara there to bring him down.
And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding him to no gain.
Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. Geis, they'll try to run it. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
The ball carrier.
They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
No gain on the play.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal.
At the 9-yard line.
Again, Geis. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
The ball carrier.
What a game this defense continues to play, huh?
Yeah, they've been aggressive from the first snap, and they've controlled this ball game. But right now, if you're on the other side of the ball, you've got to match that aggressiveness. No points so far in this game. Moving the football, got to be that way to go against them and try and get some points on the board.
And I'm curious on the defensive side if they stay aggressive, because you know they want to pitch this shutout.
Yeah, they have to be aggressive, but they also have to be smart about it as well, because one mistake can turn into 6 points.
And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th.
Goal at the 5.
Dustin Hopkins now for the Washington field goal.
This a fairly straightforward 22-yard short attempt. Hopkins' kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
Over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I
we
enjoy.
share that.
We enjoy the time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
Space to maneuver at the 40. And he'll take it to the 43-yard line. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
On first down, Stafford here. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charlie, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
On second down, Swift. He's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
Stafford going to give it to Swift. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. Throwing on second and 14. Stafford. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The Lions on third down. They've been excellent. 6 for 7. This is 3rd and 11. Out of the gun, Stafford. This is caught. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, remember, they tried to give him the ball and let him run on the last play, but I think the light bulb went off in their play caller's mind, and this time they get it to him the more conventional way, and it's much more successful as well.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been. It's to be caught, and the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. And this carries into the end zone. And Gibson decides against bringing it out.
25-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise. And yet again, Haskins is intercepted. 3rd time. It's Desmond Trufant. CD, this defense, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot at picking off a pass.
A first down carry here for Johnson. He'll get it to the 40. Broke a tackle there to get some extra yardage. Solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with a lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that, plus 3.
4 yards the pickup, first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead, first down, fourth quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back, but 8 yards on first down puts them back on their heels.
Off of play action, here's Stafford. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time, and it's 3rd and short.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. From the gun, Stafford. This is Johnson. He's got it. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. From the red zone now, Stafford. And this one's incomplete.
They're certainly not letting up on the pressure in this one, and oftentimes you hear this expression, all gas, no break from defenses. But in this case, it's the offense still throwing the football up big in the fourth quarter.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. Second and 10. Stafford going to throw it. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Well, this is long since over, and some might see this as overkill, but remember, this is a team that puts on the hard hats, grabs the lunch pail, and tells everyone, we're going to give you a full 60 minutes. And that's exactly how they're playing this one out.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
The score, Lions 49, Washington 3. Matt Prater to kick off for Detroit.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Washington takes over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter.
Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining.
Washington first down.
On play action, Haskins. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again. Haskins.
Yeah, he'll find Hall.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
3rd down.
Second down pass play got them 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. Haskins going to throw again. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Desmond Trufant. Now he's going to go down as time has now run out on this game.
Today's final score, Lions.
Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Detroit, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Carolina Panthers.
Meanwhile, for Washington,
their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.